and Joe with training logs of parents of 8. It is Sunday, September 5th. Are we already in September?
I'm looking, September 5th.
September 5th. And this is the end of training week 8. So this week was a lot of like up and down.
Yes.
A lot going on.
The running was fine. It was a lot of other.
Yeah. Just life as it is with us.
Yes.
So last Sunday, my grandfather had a issue. Had to take him to the urgent care because nothing else was open. Then Monday, I had to take him to his primary care doctor and be looked at. And she thought it was best if we went over to the hospital to have his issue looked at, addressed there, which we did,
Yes.
which took all day, which is totally fine.
Luckily, nothing life-threatening.
Yeah, no. He's fine. He just needed some antibiotics and just in a hospital setting, something looked at. But he's fine, and he's doing well. But that just took all day on Monday.
Yeah, you didn't get home till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to do a 1 hour run on Monday,
it
but
just didn't happen.
It was at that point there just wasn't happening. So that's life.
That's how it works around here. So we flipped.
Well, we were going to move it to Tuesday, but then we had the storm coming.
No, we did. We ran on Tuesday.
No, we did yard work on Tuesday.
Oh, right.
Because we had to mow, because the grass all of a sudden with the rain and suddenly heat, because we hadn't had rain for weeks. Right. Grass was growing like crazy.
Right.
And then we had the remnants of the
Ida
coming through.
Yeah.
So we had on Wednesday, so we had to get it done on Tuesday.
Right.
Before Wednesday. So that was our cross training, was we mowed for.
We kind of like did that really fast, I feel like.
We did, relatively, considering we're still out there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Really? It didn't feel like that. I felt like that was like one of the quickest mows that we have done in like
It was, but we were out there longer than it still ended up dragging on. But so then by the time we were done, that was Tuesday, we didn't run. So yeah, I mean, we were flying through the week. Monday we didn't run because of personal issues.
Right. Tuesday we had to get chores done, basically. I mean, in a nutshell.
Because with the way the rest of the week was sequencing
weather
out.
was coming out. So then Wednesday came. We were going to switch Monday, or I don't know, whatever we were going to do. We were going to flop something. We were going to run.
Yeah.
But then the rain happened.
And it rained.
I mean, it wasn't really. I mean,
heavier rain and
looking at Maryland and above us, what happened in New York City and stuff. We got off lucky.
Right. We didn't ever get the heavy rain, but it just wouldn't stop. It was like it'd clear up for like 5-10 minutes. It's like, okay, maybe it's going to let up.
Right.
And then it would start up again.
Yeah.
And so it was just another washout. And then something else was going on Wednesday. So we couldn't even do like.
I don't even remember at this point. This week is such a blur for me. So, yeah. No.
There was something.
We did not run because it was raining.
I know we didn't run because it was raining. But something came up because we were going to do
something else.
We were
going to do a cross train, right? But then. Oh, I know. Basketball started on Wednesday night.
Oh, that's right. So open gym, since you help coach.
Right. So
yeah,
I did.
You guys had to go down to open gym.
But then I feel like something else happened. I don't know. And we were just gonna call it a wash, and we were gonna flip Thursday and use Wednesday as another rest day, and then just.
Well, which is essentially what happened. So then it shows on Thursday we were supposed to do a cross training. Well, that actually became. We ran, so here's our run.
Yeah, we had that option for the run.
Right.
So this was, we did 45 minutes because that's what we were supposed to do on Wednesday anyway. So we just did that run here on Thursday.
So this is more, this is like Wednesday's run, I guess. And then it was basically the same pattern that we've done. It wasn't a bad run. I want to say.
No, this thing's not showing that we did 4 miles, but we did.
I'll bring up the stats on that. So find them over here. So I mean, so that was. I'm killing it on the computer over here.
I don't know that run. I remember very little from it. I remember it feeling not as hot.
Well, you can see the weather was 62 degrees.
Yeah.
Humidity was 80 degrees.
I remember feeling
But
like
yeah, so you had to go just over 45 to get to 4.
barely.
I hit it like at 44.59 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know why my watch versus your watch. We started literally. We hit 1, 2, 3, and we hit start. So our watches are calculating at the same time. You always hit the mile marker ahead of me, and the time ahead of me,
Yes.
and we run side by side for
Or
the most part.
I'm behind you a lot of the time too.
Right. For
So
the
I
beginning
should
part.
never be ahead of you. And then I don't know if it was this one or it was the week before. I finished and you had to run almost another like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
To get
But
to
that
was it your
happened
time or your distance?
Time. I don't know.
Anyway.
I mean, I know it's all like GPS and whatever, but I don't
Something's
get
off
it.
in
Like
that.
we're literally shoulder to shoulder most of the time.
Right. So it doesn't make any sense that we would
No,
be
it doesn't.
so far off. But oops, sorry about that.
Technical difficulties.
I'm not having a good day, technically
It's
wise.
Friday.
Friday. So then Friday we actually did our scheduled run.
Friday was beautiful. During the day, it was just beautiful outside.
Well, and then it was beautiful in the evening too, from what I remember. So if it ever comes up, this is going to be Friday's run, which is going to look very similar to Thursday's run.
Yeah.
Except for we're not going to do a double loop at the school around the circle. Oh no, we did.
I think that was the day that we were trying to avoid somebody.
Oh yeah, I think yeah.
Sometimes in that big loop when we first get down to that intermediate school, we loop.
Right there.
Yeah, we loop it a couple times just because sometimes in the dark it's the safest place to add extra
Distance or
and time.
Because
So we're not out on the street.
one of the things that did happen this week, and then if we look at it here,
Do you have your light? Is it downstairs?
it's downstairs.
Oh, okay. Next week I'll have to make sure that we
Because we
show you
actually,
that it's Knox, right? Knox. I don't remember what it is, but
you don't remember, I should know.
it's like a little
It's got like plastic tubing that's got,
lights in it.
well, yeah, it's got like an LED light that shoots around, or fiber optic light, and it can be yellow, green, red. It can flash different colors, you can fade in and out.
So people can see us when we're running. He usually runs on the outside on the street part where.
But yeah, you can see the other thing that happened is like we had to add distance because our pace here, we were 11:22, which we had been like 12.
Well, because the humidity's been like
Right.
sucked out of the air.
I mean,
Once
it was-
Ida went through, the humidity left with her.
Well, at least yeah, because this was 69 degrees and 62.
Percent
Humidity.
humidity. So it was beautiful. It was
so
so
easy
easy
to
to run.
It breathed and
Like you don't realize it until it's gone that that's
yes,
what's causing you to be
Yes.
slower. Because our pace had been like 12:22 or 12:30
right.
for these shorter
Right, if
runs.
we went back and look at it, we were almost a full minute slower. I mean, we were a full minute faster.
Right.
So we hit 4 miles here, where we've been hitting. What did we say? We looked at it was like 3:20, 3.2, 3.3
Yeah.
last week. So I mean, that was a big increase. So I mean, it was a nice run. The weather was just.
Yeah.
So then that took us to Saturday.
Saturday was the longest run of this training cycle, but also the longest run that we have ever done. Right?
Yeah, because when we did the half marathon, because as you'll see,
We've only ever done a half marathon.
and I think it shows in this. It might not show. We might have to look at the stats. But I mean, you can see we took off. We got going decent hour in the morning, and the weather was again really nice.
Really beautiful. It was really nice.
The humidity actually ended up being like 90% or something.
Yeah, it
crazy.
said that the 96%, humidity, but it was like 57 degrees outside or something like that. And again, my watch shows
So you have 13 mile on your watch.
no,
Yeah.
on this thing says that it tracked 13 miles, but my watch said I did 13.5.
Yeah, so bring that up. Yeah, because I had.
It's always the difference. My watch is always longer than that.
Because this had 13.5.
Right.
And we had a pace of 12:10. So as we said a minute ago, when we were running last week, when we were running our short runs, we were 12:30. This
Right.
week for 2 hours and 45 minutes, I mean, we
We
were
were
12:10. And with that, so I know we talked about we've talked about in the past about like hydration and with food and
Fuel.
fuel.
Yeah.
So we did the Honey Singer wafers to start again.
And we split a banana
And we split a banana.
while we were getting ready.
And that seemed to get us out the door
Yeah.
decently. And then about an hour in, we each did our first goo.
Yeah.
And then
and you felt it,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely at the point where you needed it. And then at 2 hours, we did our second goo. And that
I think
was
we
the
did
only,
it before,
and
right?
it was, no, remember we ended up running to 2, I thought.
Oh, okay.
Because, so about 150, we went onto a street and it had potholes and stuff.
Oh, that was really rough.
And
That hurt.
yeah, like my hip felt funky. And so we ended up getting it to 2 hours, but it was time for our next
That's right.
goo.
When we went through
And-
that one little path around the back of the school.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we got there, we walked at that point, ate our next goo.
And we had 45 minutes to
We
go.
had 45 minutes to go. We stretched out a little bit because I know my hip felt funky. It
Yeah.
felt fine after we stopped and let it settle for a second.
Right.
And you had to do similar. So
Mhm.
don't be afraid to stop.
Yeah,
you
if something hurts or if you just need to take a moment for yourself, then do
don't
it.
run
I mean,
through it.
it's just training. You have to know.
Well, even if it's the race. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
not running the Olympics. We're not trying
let's
to
be
win.
real.
I would say we're not trying to win a medal, but we are
you
trying
just
to
have
win a
to
medal.
finish.
But honestly,
you don't have limits on. I mean, if you're trying to race for time, clearly you have to pace yourself and train to get to that time.
yes.
But don't hurt yourself. If it hurts, and stop and reassess where you're at.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and I wish we had the splits up here. I should have put that up because if you looked at the interesting. Our first one was we looked at it was like 13:30 because we were
for 2 hours.
for the 2 hour 45 minutes
Oh,
for this
okay.
run. Because remember, we start out and it felt like we were like hot. Like you're trying to run slow. It almost felt like you were hopping going
Oh,
along.
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Because we were just trying to make sure with the 245 that we didn't come out of the gate too fast. And after last week with that heat, where it was like the last 2 weeks where the heat and humidity, you didn't think you're going to make it to the shorter distance. We were trying to save ourselves, almost felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we found is we built into the run, we had a couple miles splits that were under 12 minutes. We were like 11:50.
For a while, we
Yeah,
were
like
like
we-
that.
so-
It was like miles 3 through 7.
And I never felt like we were running hard or because we
No.
talked.
We were talking
through-
for like 2 hours. It was like that last 45 that.
We
That's
both kind of
probably-
when we flipped on our headphones and said, okay, I need to kind of.
No, I actually probably would have preferred if we kept talking, and I wouldn't have been as I just want to stop. I feel like it's easier when we talk as we're running.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's me.
No. The best cross country time I ever ran when I was running in junior high, I think it was really fast because I talked to the kid that I was paired up with the entire time. And I think he ran so fast because he was trying to get away from me because I was annoying him.
Because you were talking.
Yes.
Oh dear.
But it didn't, it took my mind off the running.
Um,
So I wasn't thinking about, I got to keep going. It's been a mile. I got to go 2 more miles. I just
Gotcha.
was like, oh, what? And just talking about whatever was going on. I didn't know what we were
Yeah.
talking about, but man, we were flying.
So
You never ran with me.
I know that at some point our watches time-wise got
Off.
completely off. Because when we were walking, I would stop, but you would keep walking to stretch yourself out. So our times got off.
Right, because it pauses. If you stand still, it will pause. But if you move at all,
Right.
it will throw it off.
Right. And so we were going off of my watch for the time.
Yes, because I was farther ahead from that. And I'd walked over to a garbage can
Right.
when we were stuck at a light to
Right.
throw because we'd started with the 16-ounce water bottles again.
But then at one point where we're almost synced back up,
yes, and
we
then
were off by
and
it
then
was something minuscule, 30 seconds or something like that.
and then I got behind you again, and I don't know.
No, you got ahead of me.
Did I get ahead of you? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I got
Remember at the
2-3
very end?
minutes at maybe
Yeah.
5.
I don't know
I
why.
forgot. No, that's right.
I just don't understand how this all happens. But anyway, so at the very end, the last 5 minutes were the most difficult for me. Most difficult. I just wanted to stop, but I didn't because I can't. And that's where it got really confusing because I kept listening to you saying, "Oh, we just have."
Well, because
3 more minutes. We just have 2 more minutes. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, it can do anything for a minute. I can do anything for a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
just telling
I know what
myself,
you're
I
saying.
can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And And then when
reality, you had like
your
5
phone,
minutes.
your watch beep telling you your time was done.
Right.
But then I looked down at my watch and I still had like 2.5 minutes, and I was like,
At least.
like you just feel
Well,
like
because we were
awful.
debating, as we were talking, and we were talking about what we were going to eat after, because it's what we do. We talk about food.
Right.
And I said, hey, we're out of eggs, and we want to have eggs for breakfast.
Right.
And so, like, okay, well, we'll finish going towards the grocery store.
Right. Which is,
And
we
so,
walk to it often because it's close to our house, just to.
right, but based on my watch, it was going to work out really well.
Right.
And so then it ended up being where we were kind of going back up and down in front of these townhomes for
People
a couple.
probably thought we were crazy, but whatever. That's what happens when you misjudge the time. But your time had already gone off.
Right. So I thought we were going to be done.
So we did finish a half marathon in
2:40.
No, it was under 2:40. Well, my watch was under 2:40. I don't know what it was. Should have been well under 2:40 underneath yours. I mean, I think it was like 2:38. Yeah. Right? For the half, for 13.1 miles. Sorry, my brain just totally spaced.
Yeah, I should have looked up our best the half marathon we did at Wine and Dine, because that was our previous best.
Yeah, I want to say that one was slightly better than what we did Saturday.
But from where we were a week ago with the heat and humidity for the 2 hours and 20 minutes to where we were this weekend.
Oh, it was so different, because I remember we were running up, alongside of that high school going into that big, huge parking lot that we wasted some time in. And you said, oh, we hit 11 miles. And my brain started like trying to remember what we had done the week before at 2:20. We only hit 11 miles in 2:20, but now we were at like 2:05 or something like that, or 2:10 or whatever. So we were well ahead of what we had been the previous week, which made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. No, and we hit that one random cul-de-sac at the exact same time.
Yeah.
But we had run again like another half mile to mile to get there.
Right.
And we're running at a considerably faster pace. It was kind of a weird.
It's so much better when the temperatures outside are not like
90.
The surface of the sun.
And the humidity.
Yeah.
It wasn't the temperature and the humidity together.
Right.
Was because Saturday I pulled it off the screen, but it was still like 90.
Right.
So
it was still 90% humidity, but it was, the temperature was like, what was it, 57 or something? So it was just it was actually just beautiful.
A new thing of you start to get cold from the sweat and the breeze.
Yeah, when we stopped to walk, we did. But then afterwards, after we fed everybody when we got back from the grocery store and made food and did stuff, we took the kids out for a hike in the battlefield that day. Yes. So that was like another 2.5 miles or something like that.
Our first mile was like 40-minute pace on the hike. It was so slow.
I mean, the kids had fun. I had fun. They all had a good time. I mean,
but I was just laughing because
my feet did hurt at that point. Yes. I mean, we do it when we're in the, at Disney when we do this stuff.
Yes.
All the time. We go back into the parks after we run, so
it's
not any different. But just more flavor for it. But today, which ironically is 26 days until the 50th anniversary. A marathon is 26.2 miles. So, for the countdown for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, they released the Marathon Weekend medals. And ironically, it is also this day in Disney history. September 5th, 1927, Oswald was born. So we get to see all of the medals for the Marathon Weekend. So the 5K, this will be our medal, which I don't think I didn't save both sides of the medal. I only have one side of it. On the flip side of the medal, there is
it's another.
It says, well, right where you see the 50th, that thing spins, right? Yes, that's what we've kind of taken out of looking at it. And it will say 5K on the other side. So it will say celebration of 50th celebration, and on the other side it will say 5K. So Pluto is the 5K. And then we have Oswald for the 10K. There it is. So that's pretty cool. It's got Epcot in the background with it. I don't remember, the other side has something.
It's Oswald, and it looks like it had a slide, but it didn't have another picture showing if it did anything.
Yeah. So it's pretty. I like it. I mean, it's got the iridescent hint to it, so it's not overwhelming. But I like how they did it. Made him running and
Yes.
Through the park there, because for the 10K we usually go through Epcot like that.
Yes.
And then the
half
marathon's next, and that is Daisy
Donald and Daisy.
Right.
I'm doing a bang up job of bringing that up.
Did I not give that one to you?
You did.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just killing it on the technical app.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this one to me looks like it spins.
Right. So,
One side's going to be Daisy, one side's
and
Donald.
it's same outfits running.
Right. So I think it's cool that they're incorporating the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World in with these medals, since we'll be running during that time. And then also it's the 25 years running of the half marathon for Marathon Weekend. So that's pretty cool that is there. And then
The full marathon
yeah,
is a big man himself.
of course. If he comes up, there he is. Got Mickey on that side. So you can see this is from Walt
26.
Disney, the 26-day countdown. But there's Mickey. He's got the iridescent on and in the background, and that's for the marathon. So I don't know. I'm really liking these a lot.
This one rotates too, and I forget what's on the other.
I'm gonna assume it's Minnie.
Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
Ignorance. I'm really not on my game tonight. I'm having a bad night.
So then, if you're doing a challenge, you also get challenge medals. So because we are also running the Dopey challenge, but there's the Goofy challenge that's intermixed in that. So
since we're doing
Dopey, we automatically get looped into
Goofy, which is the race and a half. So it's the marathon and the half.
Right. So you get that challenge medal.
It's 39.3 miles.
Right. So.
And then the backside of this is him holding 3 medals. So yeah, it's like him holding.
Oh, I don't even remember what it was.
So
I was just so enthralled with the front sides of most of these that I did.
Him on the ribbon.
Yeah, I like the ribbons. The ribbons are nice. They're different colors too, so you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this one, when you rotate it, it's him like after the race, and he's got one on his neck, and I think he's holding the
two
other
medals. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then, of course,
lastly, the whole reason we're doing this,
the whole thing right here. Good old Dopey.
So this, like the Goofy one, is him, and this one, yeah, it says Dopey up here. So I'm assuming the other one probably says Goofy.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. But I like it because on the medal itself, you'll see, if you can, I don't know, zoom in if you're on a phone or whatever. But so yeah, there you go. You can see it's got all 4 parks.
So Castle.
Yeah, Epcot. You've got Tower of Terror, and then you get the Tree of Life for Animal Kingdom. So because we hit all 4 parks in this, for the marathon, and then the Dopey challenge for this.
And then
you have each of the 4 races. So you've got the 3.1, the 6.2, the 13.1, and then the 26.2.
Oops, that's backwards.
Yeah, that's okay.
I just saw 6.2.
Yeah.
And
then the total over there. So I mean that's a pretty cool.
And again, this one has a reverse side too. So the back side of this one is Dopey with all 6 medals, I think.
Is it?
So it's like 2, I think, were in his eyes, and he's holding.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it looks like, how like you usually see Dopey and he has the gems from the mind or whatever sometimes. Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting, I think, anyway.
Yes.
And our running costumes came today, but we're not quite ready to reveal those yet. I'm still waiting on a couple of things, and I have to piece a couple of things together for mine. But yeah, things are starting to come together this week. Things change a little bit. Monday becomes an an hour. Well, Monday was an hour run this week.
Right. I'm trying to bring it up real quick because I forgot.
It's
So I'm being bad.
is an hour run with pickups.
So yeah. So pickups. Remind me what pickups are. Because
So
I get these confused.
pickups is at the end of every mile, you run harder for about 30 seconds and then you scale it back down to your pace.
Okay.
Or you do it every 10 minutes, whichever comes first, I believe. I have to look that back up. I'm pretty sure though. It's usually like every 10 minutes. I guess most people run a mile in 10 minutes. I guess that's what it's averaged into. But you run harder for 30 seconds and then you come back down to your
And that's
zones 1 or
designed to
2.
try to help you go faster, I believe.
Right. It's supposed to help you with speed. It's like speed work.
Okay.
So that's
And
Monday. Tuesday is cross training.
Wednesday is 45 minutes with pickups.
Thursday is choose your own adventure still,
Still choose your own adventure.
Okay, and then Friday's 45 with pickups, and then we actually get to scale down
On this
on
Saturday.
Saturday, and we only have to run
2 hours.
2 hours. So
I mean,
based off of last 2 weekends of running, that should be about 10 to 11-ish miles.
Yeah. I mean, if we're
We were
running,
at 10 miles
so
at
if we
2
run
hours.
an 11-minute pace, yeah. We'll see what we
That's
run.
where we were.
That's also weather depending. Like if the weather
Absolutely.
goes back up.
If it gets any warmer, then it would probably be more like 9.
Yeah, miles, not minutes per mile.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Sorry,
was doing.
miles, not minutes. I don't know how to calculate all.
No. You were saying it one way, I was thinking another, and I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that we're not. If it gets hotter, we're not going to get faster. We'll get slower.
We do.
And
We get
there's-
really slow.
And I should know it, and we've heard it so many times and read it. There is a calculation for every 10 degrees above, so it's like 75 degrees, you basically lose X amount of time.
Oh yeah.
And if it goes down below, if it actually gets too cold, you actually have the same issue happening as it gets too cold,
Right.
which is too cold. I never would have thought of, but definitely it's hotter. Your body just can't go.
Right. So
But so
We
this
have-
would be
we finally have the fuel, although we did try something new at the end because we knew at 40.
the
had 2
245 exceeded the 2 goos because they're good for about an hour. So from 1 hour, well,
Not really. We pushed through to an hour. Really at 45.
and they say
That's what we
45
should
minutes.
be.
So if you're doing it 45 minutes in a 2 hour and 45, it was at least 3 goos you needed. So
And
we
we-
had cliff blocks with us
Yeah.
just as an emergency backup.
Right. And we needed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was literally that last 20 minutes.
At that pace for that long.
Yeah. We needed it.
We needed a little
something.
more than the goos were giving.
So we tried those cliff blocks. I don't hate them.
They're big and thick,
They're
so they're a
very
little hard
big.
to chew.
They're very big. You're supposed to chew 2 of them, and that's like the serving size is
Might
2.
actually be 3.
No, it's 2. And the first time that I took the first one, I didn't realize how big it was until I put it in
It's
my mouth.
really big. I mean, it's
it hurt my jaw.
it's
big.
probably half an inch by half.
I don't know. It's thick. So that
And they're
you're trying to focus. I don't know if
they're a
it's
dense
just
gummy
me.
material. Like
I like them better than Gatorade ones and the sports beans.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
They weren't really sugary. The sports beans.
They still kind of got stuck in my teeth.
That's not sugary.
No.
That's the gummy that you just can't.
Yeah.
Like at some point, I was trying to get it up,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the.
I think I was almost out of water at that point. I was
You
trying
were
to save
close.
it for the last 10 minutes or whatever. So, I don't hate them. I'm not a huge fan. I would say I would pack an extra goo over
The blocks.
the blocks.
The blocks, I think, are something that, in retrospect, in between the goos. So if you take the goo at 45 minutes and then at 30 minutes or 25 minutes, just
After
pop
that?
one.
I mean, I don't
I don't
mind
know.
them if they're
I just
the
don't think
backup plan.
Yeah.
I just don't want them as the plan.
I think having them in the pack. Now, when we get to the next extension, we have to go over 3 hours.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pack bananas or something.
Oh, I agree. Because
Granola. I don't know. We're gonna have to get
Something.
back to you guys on that because at 2:45.
like I'm feeling muscles that I didn't know existed, and we've been running since June 1st
Yeah.
for this.
We were rolling and using the
The
massage
The
gun.
massage gun. I mean, it helped a little bit, but man, I felt like, I don't know, the upper parts of my legs, I felt muscles that I didn't even know that I hadn't worked out before. I don't know if that's possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why going that little bit farther and a little bit faster. I definitely
Probably
felt
just the distance, but yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad thing to feel the muscles.
No, it was a good thing because you're using.
I mean, we had tons of water. We were good there.
Yeah.
We weren't sweating nearly as much because
No.
the humidity wasn't. I mean, the humidity was high, but thank goodness the temperature was low and we didn't have to worry
Right.
about
I
it.
had water left over when I got done, so I could.
Yeah, drink it. Like I remember
Yeah.
being in the grocery stores, we were picking up stuff, going, I just ran out of water.
Walking
We
around.
picked up more. I mean, we were at the grocery store or whatever, but
Yeah.
I think we finished it. The checkout guy
We
was
finished
like,
it before he could finish checking us out.
yeah. But yeah, so that was the week. You know, life happened. We worked around it.
That's what you
That's
have to
kind
do.
of how it is.
Figure it out and keep
we always
moving.
know going into the week that something's going to happen, and we have to get creative of how we're going to do it. Even this week, we're going to try and shift everything to morning runs and morning cross training or whatever we're going to do.
As
Because
school
we know
gets
as schools start, like, so this year I'm homeschooling 6 kids. Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
So that starts on Tuesday. So that means summer's over by tomorrow, which I'm usually in complete denial about until about October 5th.
And then maybe about November, and then it's Thanksgiving and Christmas break.
Yeah, I don't know. I like summer. I'm not a big fan of school, but whatever. Such is life. So we just have to our schedule just has to change. And
Because we just won't have the evenings to run anymore.
right.
So
Yeah.
we're just
The
gonna have to get up.
sports kicking in and other things for the kids. So
Yeah.
that's how we roll. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube with us and that notification bell. And we hope you guys have a magical week, and we'll see you next Sunday at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as it is our case here. And keep going with your training and be magical, and we'll see you real soon.